course, welcome to another episode of Victorious Ones podcast. Excuse me. Um, Hello there. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Victorious Ones podcast, the place where gaming meets comics, meets sports, meets movies, as well as inspiration. Of course, I am your host, King Von Jr. You can follow me on social media or Twitter at 301 King Von Jr. You can get these banners right here at the bottom. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at 301 King Von Jr. You can follow the shows. You can follow me on Instagram at Mr. King Von Jr. You can follow the show's social media accounts. On Twitter, it's VictoryPod1. On Instagram, it's Victorious Ones Podcast. I'm also the social media producer for the unpopular review wrestling show Perfect Plex Talk Radio, hosted by Mike Knox on Mondays at 6 p.m. And so, first and foremost, as I said earlier, um, so on social media, I like to wish my mom a happy birthday, a happy, amazing birthday, happy 70th birthday, a milestone. I'm blessed to see both your parents reach the 70 mark. So we had a little bit of cake and ice cream celebrated, and of course, make sure I'm not going to be on here as long. But yeah, so as far as this week, there's been a lot going on. Again, give you a brief rundown of the week of wrestling when it comes to Smackdown, Raw, especially with that last one, the standing match. Share my thoughts about that. NXT never disappoints. And of course, I'm going to dive into latest episodes. This week is also the premiere of X-Men '97 on Disney Plus. Great show. Like I said, the first two episodes premieres are amazing. So of course I'm rocking the X-Men, classic X-Men anime series group. Team meets with attitude. So of course, as far as that, and for those that are watching by way of YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Of course, my YouTube is at youtube.com at / Von Virginia. And so of course, as far as that, so thank you for those that watching by way of social media. Please make sure to keep those views going up. And so as far as that, like I said, this week when it comes to wrestling and just culture period did not disappoint. And also this year, or at least this year marks 30 years since WrestleMania 10. One of the most revolutionary, transcendent WrestleManias of all time. It's very historic in many ways, groundbreaking in more ways than one. And so I definitely want to share my thoughts about the 30th anniversary of WrestleMania 10. That's a big reason why I came on here tonight in the first place. So I was kind of hesitating whether should I even do a show, but I was like, all right, why not? So it's kind of like a little bit of a last minute thing. Excuse me for saying that, but kind of is what it is. Sometimes it be like that. But yeah. So of course, now moving on to the week of wrestling. Not to belabor anything even more. So of course, this past Friday was Smackdown, which took place at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee, and so of course it kicks off with the rock concert. It's in Tennessee, so of course known for music. It's Music City in the first place, and of course I thought it was pretty funny, and so of course of course the rock starts off and he talks about it, comes out and tortures every city he's in, but he's like, tonight is different. It's different. So because he was saying, you see, years ago when the Rock star's wrestling career, the Rock star right here in Memphis. So of course USWA, United States Wrestling Association, run by Jerry Lawler at the time. So it's who he's referring to. Started up in Memphis, Tennessee. USWA, which is it's like a farm system for WWE, if you will. So that's the kind of reason why. So he said every Saturday morning, Channel 5, every Monday night at the Big Top Food Market. Remember Rock's name back then, Flex Cabana. So shout out to that. His origin. And so he was like, I didn't know what I was thinking about, went for it. So this is a little different. So Rock would say it like this. He says, "I love you too. I appreciate that." He says, "Finally, The Rock has come back home. Memphis, Tennessee. The Rock has come back home." He says, "For years." He says, "The home of blues, Elvis Presley." He says, "The Rock loves the blues. He loves Elvis. Loves country." So he's like, we're gonna have fun. We'll sing along, right? So we all know that Rock is famous for doing sing-alongs, and so he's like, let's do a Rock sing-along. And then, of course, from the Grammy-nominated band War and Treaty, we got, I was like, oh wow, so he brought War and Treaty out there, so that's major for their profile, that to be up there with the Rock, that's incredible. And so of course, there's when the Rock does a little sing-along, and of course, if you listen carefully, he does kind of like twist the song from Moana into it's like a villainous twist to it, you know what I mean? And so of course he goes in on of course goes in on Cody Rhodes, just roast Cody, calls the fans Cody crybabies and things like that. And so of course he talks about how Cody slapped him, but the Rock was like, with the Rock do he smile? You know what I mean? So the thing is of course, Rock said he was waiting. The whole world was waiting. And he was responding to the biggest moment, slapping the Rock, and kind of a passionate promo talking about the way that Cody was crying and stuff like that. I was like, what I mean? Like, I was like, okay. And of course, the Rock is definitely gonna seize that opportunity. And he would never hesitate in doing that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So like the Rock is definitely an opportunist in that aspect. So Cody just made himself a target. You know what I mean? And so so of course, the Rock in the wrong side song. The Rock's talking about he's gonna walk right over you, walk right over to as a matter of fact, the Rock was talking about after he's done talking to Cody's mom, telling Cody's mom that when he's done whooping Cody, and when Roman's done beating him 1, 2, 3, the Rock's gonna take that belt full of Cody's blood and he's gonna walk over to Cody's mom. And so he's like, the Rock needs to just sit in the front row so the whole world can see. And so the Rock's gonna walk right over to you and he's gonna hand you this belt. And so he's gonna put it on your lap and you'll be crying just like your son. That's okay, because the Rock's gonna whisper in your ear, Mama Rose, with all the blood of his son's belt there. Tears in the belt, the Rock's gonna whisper in your ear, he's gonna wipe your tears away. And I say, Michelle, what can I say except you're welcome? You smell what the final boss is cooking. I was like, oh man. Oof. Wow, man, this is super villain Rock. I mean, this is mad tight Rock. You know what I mean? Like, this is like some Dr. Doom type of thing. Like, this is Rock unhinged. You know what I mean? And I know that there's some people that didn't like Hollywood Rock, but this remix of Hollywood Rock, you know what I mean? To be honest, I kind of get with it. And of course, like I said, thank you for those that are watching over Twitter, now called X. Like I said, please keep those views up. I greatly appreciate that. And so yeah, you know what I mean. So of course after, of course after that we have the first match of the night, the LWO with Zelina Vega versus Legado del Fantasma with Elektra Lopez, and 6-pack challenge qualifying match. The winners with Legado del Fantasma by pinfall. Then we have an LA Knight interview. And of course, the interview by Caleb Braxton, and so he's of course LA Knight talking as usual things he's like, let me talk to AJ Styles. Said last week I needed to be humble. So LA Knight needed to be humble. Now you're talking about language. Now you're talking what I want to hear. AJ, so he was like, AJ, I'm standing right here. Why don't you come out and humble LA Knight? He's like, yes. Well, I thought you got another week where AJ can't show up, and so why is that? You're not big enough for this ride, man. On Napoleon said, oh wow, make fun of his height. He said he got Napoleon complex. Okay, whatever. So of course he says LA Knight spots the marks and the biggest mark walking as AJ Styles. And so after that, AJ Styles just nails LA Knight from behind with a steel chair. He puts the chair over LA Knight's neck, and he says, I accept. So now it has been crystallized as official. We have LA Knight versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I mean, it was bound to happen. Like, it's like, it's like the writing was on the wall. You know what I mean? Ever since AJ came back, ever since the Fatal 4-Way, I was like, it's only a matter of time before the paths cross. So the battle lines have been drawn. The writing is on the wall. We have AJ Styles versus LA Knight at WrestleMania 40. So, of course, the second match of the night is going to be the match. Next up is going to have Randy Orton versus Grayson Waller, featuring Austin Theory. The winner of this match is Randy Orton. And so of course, after that, and they talk about Triple H being a special guest on the Pat McAfee show on April 5th at WWE World at WrestleMania. Then after that, we see the third match with Santos Escobar with Legado del Fantasma versus Dragon Lee. Your winner of that match, Santos Escobar. Fourth match, the New Catch Republic versus Pretty Deadly in a six-pack challenge qualifying match. The winners of that match, New Catch Republic by pinfall. Then the fifth match, we have Bayley versus Dakota Kai with Damage Control. Your winner, Bayley, by disqualification. And so of course that concludes that concludes Friday Night Smackdown. And so as far as that's concerned, I'm good with Final Boss Rock. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed that. And so it's just like that's Rock. His typical heel form, his heel element, and so of course, like I said, of course with this with this past episode of Monday Night Raw, I can definitely say is certainly one of the finest, like I said, one of the finest Raws that we've seen of the year. Even though it's not been that the year's not even it's far from up anyway. Only the first 3 months anyway. So as far as that, like I said, this episode of Raw did not disappoint whatsoever. Here is one. So anyway, like I said, this episode of Monday Night Raw, like I said, maintained my interest all throughout, from pretty much from beginning to end. And so this episode of Raw is where Cody, addresses The Rock's concert, in the way that The Rock came after his mom. And so, we could clearly see that we're far from anything PG related right now. Like all gloves are off at this point. And so it clearly shows in this promo. And so of course Cody talks about how tough his mom is, saying like you don't know my mom, talking about how his mom beat up an off-duty cop in the Johnny Cash concert, like okay, whatever. And of course Cody says Rock has energy, call that kind of stuff. Like okay, like this is attitude light, if you will. Not even close, but still, you can definitely tell. Cody was was definitely going to try to pull as deep into his bag as he possibly could. Cut promo, the show addresses all the issues with Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania 40. So so of course Cody questioned whether The Rock would actually be able to bring the great one out, or if he would be unable to perform after so many years out of action. He also dug into Rock's insecurities about the company's recent success and the hashtag We Want Cody movement, who the WWE was doing fine without The Rock. Saying that we didn't need you, kind of stuff like that. Yeah, whatever. Of course, eventually Paul Heyman, future WWE Hall of Famer, pinstripe Paul, by the way. The blue pinstripe suit comes out. Of course, to cut Rhodes off, offering the opportunity to confront Reigns at SmackDown on Friday, with Reigns guaranteeing that there'll be no other members of the bloodline, present other than Heyman. And so, of course, after Cody accepted Heyman, they made clear that the deal was going to be contingent on Cody also guaranteeing that he would show up alone. Of course, Cody accepted the terms before shaking Heyman's hand, and this is where where Cody referred to himself as Homelander. So, and last time I checked, Homelander is a delusional villain who thinks he's a hero.
So it's just like for all the Cody crybabies, I'm like, is this what you want? Is this what you're cheering for? Is this what you're cheering for? Is this your king, as Killmonger would say? You know what I mean? So it's just like, like the thing is, I mean, it's only a matter of time before Cody let everybody know, like pretty much like, who he really is. And so for him to refer to himself as Homelander, I'm like, kind of a red flag. I'm like, y'all really want to cheer for that? But I guess it's all about finishing the story. But other than that, as far as other things that happened on Raw, and we finally saw, of course, once again we saw Jay and Jimmy come face to face. First and foremost, that opened up the show, and of course, eventually ended up going to blows with Solo, turn the odds in Jimmy's favor until Cody ran to make the save. And of course, that was before predates Cody's promo. And of course, we had the WrestleMania tag title qualifying match where DIY defeated the Creed brothers by pinfall after series of roll-ups, and of course, the Judgment Day continued to try to recruit Andrade while also paying attention to the tag team tag title qualifiers, qualifying matches that are happening all throughout the show. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley ran down JD McDonough's failure to win the gauntlet match the previous Monday. So they reminded Bobblehead about how he felt when the gauntlet match, last week. So they continue to remind him, like, look, you're really not one of us. No matter how hard you try. And side note, Milwaukee's getting crushed right now by Boston. And watching simultaneously while doing this podcast. But anyway, of course, I only had St. Patrick's Day was 3 days ago, so whatever. I guess they're doing it for that. But anyway, of course, Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae defeat Kaden Carter and Katana Chance by submission. As Candice LeRae just triply blocked in a half crab on the injured Katana Chance. As Indy Hartwell was not feeling that at all whatsoever. She was like, come on, like lay off and just chill. You know what I mean? But yeah, of course, Ricochet defeated Dominic Mysterio by pinfall despite repeated outside interference from JD Bobblehead. The match was set up on the Judgment Day when Dominic to finish the job that Bobblehead couldn't do against Ricochet last week. Except Dominic met the same fate, taking an L against Ricochet. And so of course, after that, we have Gunther and Sami Zayn signed their WrestleMania contract. And so of course, before the segment, we saw Sami Zayn backstage running with Chad Gable. And so, of course, obviously, Chad was so upset over losing last week, Sami in the finals of the Gauntlet match. He told Zayn that he wouldn't be able to beat Gunther. And Gunther, of course, during the contract signing, shout out to Gunther, looks great in those suits. Of course, echo those same sentiments during the contract signing. He's like, there's no way that you could beat me. And he said that Sami didn't truly believe that he could win WrestleMania. And Sami closed out the segment by telling Gunther to look him right into his eyes and realize he's going to be the man in that record breaker title run. And of course, Chad Gable approaches Sami after Zayn doesn't change mentality. He's not going to be able to beat Gunther. And of course, Gunther, however you want to pronounce it, that dude's a world beater. He is an unbelievable specimen. And the fact that as a heel, he's able to win his matches decisively without any interference from Imperium, without any interference from Kaiser or Vinci. That speaks volumes to, of course, to his character, to his talent. It just, like I said, this is a throwback. And so the thing about it is that, people that don't really understand, how unique Gunther is. You just don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's like one of the things. Like appreciate him. While appreciate him in real time. Pretty much. That's how I feel about him. You know what I mean? Like he is, powerhouse technician. As I say that all the time about him. And of course, like I said, he's the ring general for a reason. So I expect this match to be nothing less than special. nothing less than excellent, if you will. So of course, after that we have the WrestleMania tag team title qualifying match. Is Awesome Truth defeat and just share by pinfall. Our Truth his elbow fell backward. It's going to win a pinfall. And then of course another WrestleMania tag team qualifying match. We see the New Day defeat Alpha Academy by pinfall. When Xavier Woods, of course, at the top of walking elbow drop on Akira Tozawa to make sure that the New Day got the final spot from on Raw in the six-pack ladder match. And finally, in the main event, I mean, what else can I say about this? This was a special match. You know what I mean? This is definitely, banger after banger after banger. Becky and Nia never failed. Yeah, I mean, they like I said, the thing is, they never cease to amaze me. They never fail when it comes to, when it comes to bringing a great match together. Their chemistry is A1. Anytime they're in the ring, like I said, especially considering that Nia has improved by leaps and bounds, since she made a return, and so for Becky to be her central rival only made perfect sense. And so of course, I mean, like, and of course, the thing about it is that Becky Lynch, I'll say ever since her feud with Trish Stratus, she's been, like I said, consistently putting on, like I said, banger after banger after banger. Sheamus would say when it comes to like great matches, this is another great match in her catalog. And of course, after several huge moves from both Becky and Nia, of course, the man, is finally able to get the win after that manhandle slam from the ring apron through a table outside the ring, which was talk about suspending, belief or whatever, suspending disbelief and things like that. I mean, like for her to hit Nia with that manhandle slam, I'm like, it felt like you were playing a video game. A video game where they don't detect weight differences. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is definitely WWE 2K-ish, video game-ish, but it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's like I won't complain about it. And of course, that would Nia played a major part in that in the first place. Because Becky on her own doesn't have that type of strength. If it was Bianca Belair, yeah, I can see that. Nia, I mean, like I said, if it was Bianca Belair, I can definitely see that. Jade Cargill obviously proved that at the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? Of course, not once but twice. And of course, like I said with that, Rhea Ripley obviously did it at Elimination Chamber. Lash Legend definitely, in the future, when Lash gets called into the main roster, her and Nia got a clash. I can certainly see her. I've seen them now. They're picking up, of course, slamming Nia, same way that she slammed Otis. And Nia's ring work, she's become definitely much more fluid in the ring. She is, being able to, she has more versatility in the ring, more than she's ever had before. And I'm like, she is definitely, like I said, she's definitely doing much more in other aspects of her matches. And so, of course, a shout out to Pat McAfee for his reaction to the match, especially with the ladder at ringside, as Becky was able to finish off Nia with a leg drop off the top of the ladder and on the announce table. And so of course, Nia was out once and for all with the 10 count. So this is definitely the exclamation point to their rivalry. Only, of course, after the match, Rhea Ripley came to the ring to end the show with a stare down with a future WrestleMania opponent. Of course, this is officially Mommy versus the Man at Mania. And as great as it is, just like on the other end, it's just like Nia is out of Mania. You know, Nia is out of Mania spot. Unless they do some type of like women's battle royal type of thing. But you know, unfortunately, she became a casualty. Somebody that that's not going to be not going to be featured like that. You know, at WrestleMania. But, like that's kind of what I wanted to see, but it is what it is. Overall, it was a great match. Uh, Great Monday night as well. I'm not saying that to like sugarcoat anything, but but based on what they have, um, you know, based on what they've produced, based on what they have provided for us, like I said, this is definitely um, you know a great Monday Night Raw as we kick as the road to WrestleMania goes further into in a high gear. And finally, for the weekend wrestling, we have NXT, which was last night. Of course, which took place obviously at the Performance Center in Florida, and of course, the first match we have Roxanne Perez versus Tatum Paxley, and Roxanne Perez just has holding edge. She is, like I said, she is just that is holding up, holding the dimension to her character, to turn heel, and it's like like Roxanne Perez. It's just like certain people are just too nice to really believe that they can get angry like that. Roxanne Perez is definitely one of them. She is, if I could use an example, Pokemon example, she's almost like the WWE equivalent of Jigglypuff. You know what I mean? It's hard to see Jigglypuff turn evil, turn crazy and anything like that. And honestly, that's kind of the vibe that I get when it comes to Roxanne Perez. I see a comment. Hello, hey, how you doing? And once again, by the way, for those that are watching live on Facebook, please make sure to click that StreamYard link and make sure to give Facebook your permission, permission to show your name, show your name in the comments. But yeah, of course, like I said, thank you very much for watching tonight's episode, of the Victorious Ones podcast. So anyway, yeah, so of course, as far as that, um, of course, once again, like I said, you know, let's see what it says. All right, so of course, it's Paula Taylor. Yeah, so of course, hello to you, and of course, once again, like I said, thank you very much for watching. And but like I said, when it comes to Roxanne Perez, what I mean, like she's incredible in the ring, but but I feel like this if she's not gonna get the belt back on, get the belt back put back on her, it's just like might as well call her up to the main roster. You know what I mean? And of course, Roxanne Perez, is definitely like one of the more decorated women's stars of NXT, as of late. And of course, the winner by submission is Roxanne Perez with crossface, and it's certainly like this is. And of course, after that, she got into but I mean, so not too much. Yeah, but like I said, made St. Pat's tap up to the crossface. So after the match, Roxanne grabs a microphone because she's tired of waiting. She's waiting. It's time for Ava to make the decision and give her the title. Give her the title that she never lost. So of course, after that, Roxanne Perez gets to a brawl with Lyra Valkyria, and Perez, shoves Valkyria and Tatum Paxley, and then Perez just viciously attacks the left shoulder of Tatum Paxley, and Perez allows the crossface to the floor. To end that match and to end that part, like I said, to end that match once and for all. And so of course after that, we see Metaphor backstage as Noam Dar will slash Legend keep it focused during tonight's main event. Alpha Academy joined the conversation. Otis admits that he's slightly jealous of Trick Williams. Obviously, that actually has nothing to do with Otis as she walks away. And of course, hard for Lash to keep it focused after last week. As I said, Lash and Trick away from WWE are an item. So so Lash was definitely caught off guard. Um, she could not maintain her composure, and the thing about like I said that night as well as like I said last week as well as last night, Lash has not been able to maintain her composure. She is just like shaken up in so many ways, and I was like, man, it's only a matter of time before Meta 4 becomes Meta 3, if you will. So as far as that, I feel like their days are pretty much the number one when it comes to Lash being on the team. And of course, we also see Valkyria refusing medical attention in the training room. She tells Ava to make the match official for Stand and Deliver. So we're going to have Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez at Stand and Deliver for the NXT Women's Championship. And of course, we have a segment between Oba Femi, Josh Briggs, and Dijak. And so for the Oba Femi, talks about how much how dominant of a champion he is, how great he is, and just walks around, like he's a king. And of course, Josh Briggs comes out. He's just starting guys. Oba Femi's gonna come out here, talk about how he put Brooks Jensen through the ring last week. And he was like, he's saying like, look, Brooks is a tough kid. He's gonna bounce back. And he's like, what pissed me off was Oba dude smile on his face the entire time. He was like, he wasn't out there. He wasn't out there hunting destroy. He was out there to wound. So he was like, so Oba, why don't you come out here and try to put me through the ring? Right. Actually, Josh Brooks comes out first, and then Oba Femi comes out, and so he's like, Josh, I'm surprised you didn't enjoy my title defense from last week. So I know I did, but he was like, of course, Oba was like, you do have a point. He was like, I relish the idea of testing the man's limit. Relish the idea of testing, Brooks Jensen's limit, and so he just relish the idea of putting him to the edge. He's like, once step through those ropes, there's no place for emotion. The only thing that matters is results. My results speak for me. You're a man of courage. I'll give you that. You're steadfast. Oba speaking like a Nigerian king, basically. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, his Twitter name is Nigerian Thanos for crying out loud. So, that's self-explanatory. Like, this guy he feels like he's the emperor and ruler of NXT. With Josh Briggs. So Josh Briggs says, "Look at you, walk around with so much confidence. You walk around here thinking you're the baddest dude here, but just like everyone else, you end up meeting someone who's just a little bit tougher." He's like, so allow me to introduce myself. My name is Josh Briggs. I'm the man of mayhem. This is NXT, where I throw hands. So, Oba, how about you do this? Put the North American title online. Let's see who falls off the ledge first. And this is where Dijak comes in. And so, before that, Oba says, he's like, Josh, don't say I didn't warn you. And of course, like I said, you just enter Dijak. And so, of course, he says, Oba for me, man of destiny. He says, you're the man of destiny. You must not be the man of memory, because last week I told you when you're done playing around, I'll be the man waiting for you. He's like, of course, Dijak was one who shot his shot first for the North American title. It's like, so champ, here I am. Too much of a guy ducking me. Which one is it? And so, and of course, Josh Briggs calls Dijak the one to be shaft. He's like, how about you, Brooks? Between him and I. And so, Dijak, Dijak was like, you just call me one to be shaft, like Samuel Jackson. Shaft. He was like, brother, I don't know. You can see it or not, but I'm white. I was like, that was hilarious. But like, man, that was a good one. He was like, listen, it doesn't matter. This is about me and you. So you can go ahead and get lost. It's like, this is about me and Oba. Basically saying it's A&B conversation, where to see your way out kind of thing. But Oba's like, it's not between either you don't know. You know, because when it comes to the silo, there's Oba and there's everyone else. Okay. And of course, after that, this definitely, definitely when that ball breaks out, and Dijak's trying to pull Oba back into the ring. Briggs shoves Dijak and Oba punches Dijak and clothesline Briggs over the top rope. Gets him out there. As Oba goes for a toss powerbomb, Dijak lands back on his feet. This leads to a huge standoff in the center of the ring. You know, it's like, oh, so eventually it's going to be I believe it's going to be a triple threat. Excuse me. It's going to be a triple threat match. For the it's going to be a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. They're standing to deliver.
That cares about how he doesn't look that you want him.
And so of course after that we see Sean Spears and Joe Gacy have a backstage promo. And so of course Sean Spears talks about pride coming before the downfall of a man as ego is such a shame. And Gacy was like, but is it? And so of course after that we have Axiom and Nathan Frazier versus No Quarter Catch Crew in the number 1 contenders qualifying match. Your winners by pinfall, Axiom and Nathan Frazier. And of course we also have at the third match we have Sol Ruka versus Brimley Reese with Malik Blade and Idris Inoue. And the winner by pinfall is Sol Ruka. Of course we have Ilya Dragunov and Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo having a segment, and of course Tony D'Angelo says 2 weeks from Saturday it's going to be the biggest stand of all time. He's like, I'm going to get my opportunity at NXT Championship. So D'Angelo says now is the time is the ultimate premium. And of course, as of right now, the D'Angelo family is a booming period of strength and aggressive expansion. So he was like, now I brought in Lucas Crucifino because in that brain of his, he's got a law degree in sociology from Duquesne University. Of course, he just introduces, like I said, new members of his regime and things like that. And so he's talking about how Ilya knows wisdom equals power, and then he says that the Don has immense power, but with that comes responsibility. Spider-Man quote. Responsibility that trickles all the way down to the rest of the family members. So please put it together for my new consigliere, Lucas Crucifino. So of course, this is when he introduces new consigliere. So D'Angelo is introducing his the members of his family, and so of course Ilya Dragunov comes out and he says, I came to the restaurant for conversation, and he left me alone on a bridge with nothing but my own thoughts. And he says, you can feel his championship within your grasp. He said, you can smell it, taste it, see it, but this here is one power beyond your reach. Now that I understand how this is going to go until Stand and Deliver. So Dragunov already sees how it's going down. And of course we also have we'll have a segment where Thea Hale offers Riley Osborne some encouragement ahead of his big title match, and apologize for her behavior during that date. And she hopes that they can still be friends. And Riley is glad that the old Thea Hale is back. And Lola is still not impressed by Carmen Petrovic's karate training. Carmen Petrovic, that's the Kill Bill girl, as I like to call it. The fourth match is Drew Gulak, with the no quarter catch crew versus Riley Osborne with Chase University for the WWE NXT Heritage Cup Championship. And so of course it's 4 rounds, and of course after 4 rounds, the winner is still the WWE NXT Heritage Cup champion Drew Gulak 2-1 by pinfall. So Drew Gulak is still the NXT Heritage Cup champion. I'm getting my words mixed up. I'm just tongue tied right now, I guess you could say. But before after this, we see Fallon Henley running into Brooks Jensen NXT parking lot. NXT parking lot just attracts fights. It's just at this point it's like a magnet for getting into a fight. Of course, Fallon is trying to help Brooks keep his spirits up. Brooks says that he doesn't want to be here anymore, and everything's going to be great for Fallon. Briggs is going to get a shot at the North American title. Of course, Brooks left with nothing. He doesn't want to talk to Fallon right now. We see Kalani Jordan arrive, and obviously she wants a piece of Kiana James and Izzy. And Fallon tells Kalani that that she'll have her back. And so of course, this is with Thea Hale and Duke Hudson going to April's office. And of course, Thea is going to have a match with Jasmine next week. And April also mentions that Duke Hudson can possibly enter the NXT North American title match, Stand and Deliver. He wins his match next week. And of course, with the fifth match of the night, we have the Good Brothers versus Hank Walker and Tank Ledger in the number 1 contenders qualifying match. The winners by pinfall, the Good Brothers. And of course, next week, Josh Briggs faced Duke Hudson, Bless Dijak versus Sean Spears. The sixth match, we have a sixth and final match with Trick Williams versus Noam Dar with Metaphor, and the winner Trick Williams by pinfall. And of course, the match is going great. Noam Dar, doing his best, sort of like Kurt Angle or Shamrock compression with an ankle lock, you know what I mean? But of course, like I said, Trick Williams, put on an incredible performance himself. And so, obviously, we see Metaphor trying to distract Trick once again, but obviously, he has a fall for it, and so, of course after that, even when Metaphor's interference or distractions fail, Trick Williams just, he just fires off like a cannon on Noam Dar with this huge flying knee and just knocks him out with the 1-2-3. And Lash didn't, and of course Lash didn't even put Noam's foot on the rope or anything. She just stood there to watch that 3 count happen, and she still just shook up and just in disbelief about Trick. And so of course the winner of this match, Trick Williams. And after that, Trick calls on Mello. Mello, his music comes on, and of course four of his bodyguards come out, and Trick is waiting for Mello to make his entrance, only for Mello to be dressed as one of the bodyguards as well, and he attacks Trick from behind. And of course, this has been official. It's confirmed that they will have their match at Stand and Deliver. And I was like, man, this is right now. I believe as though, even though it's not a title match, but I believe it's very important, at least in my aspect, for Trick and Mello to be in the main event of Stand and Deliver. You know what I mean? So it's just like, because of that storyline, because of the magnitude of that storyline, I believe it's more than worthy of main eventing NXT Stand and Deliver, which is NXT's version of WrestleMania. And so, of course, and of course, the thing about it, that is your week in wrestling. And of course, the highlights for me were the final boss Rock, concert in Memphis, Cody's response promo, the last woman standing match, the contract signed between Sammy and Gunther, the Jay versus Jimmy face off, and of course, like I said, of course, also the further confirmation of Trick and Mello for Stand and Deliver, and just this love triangle or whatever it is, not love triangle, but this love story sort of continues with Lash and Trick, you know what I mean? So and Lash just cannot help herself. She is just beside herself right now, in this aspect. And so like it's certainly something great to see. And so I will say, like I said, that's it when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to this week in wrestling. And so now I'm going to give sort of I'm going to give sort of my thoughts when it comes to this guy, going a little bit all over the place. But like I said, but I definitely want to talk about WWE rivals when it came to, like I said, when it came to John Cena versus Randy Orton. I thought it was a great episode. It's definitely one of the better rivalries that they have, that they've featured, that they've highlighted. Outside of Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, I thought that was epic. I thought that was great. But of course, the things about John Cena versus Randy Orton, they are like eternal rivals. They are the ultimate quintessential dance partners. I can, as I look back on it now, I'm not just saying this because Edge is no longer with AEW. No longer with WWE. But but the thing about it is, I think now that you look at it, not just because Edge is gone, but really when you put things all together, Randy Orton is John Cena's greatest dance partner, and this series of matches is a perfect testament of that. So overall, I was thrilled with this week's episode of WWE Rivals, and also, of course, another thing I wanted to talk about was also the 30th anniversary of WrestleMania 10. So, of course, WrestleMania 10 took place on March 20th, 1994 in Madison Square Garden. And so this was the 10th anniversary of WrestleMania. So what better place to celebrate the 10th anniversary than at the place where it started? And this was the first official WrestleMania without the presence of Hogan. So this, so we have officially, cemented ourselves in the new generation era. And so, so of course, the highlights of this night include the first match at night, which has gone down as a WrestleMania classic and just a match classic overall in general, between brother versus brother, Bret versus Owen, and like I said, this was a technical masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like they figured each other out. Obviously they're brothers anyway, but in a surprise win, Owen, in a surprise upset, Owen picks up the win. And I think Bret is the first wrestler that I know of that pulled double duty for WrestleMania. So he was the first match of the night and in the last match of the night with Yokozuna. And so I say this. And so I say sorry about that, but yeah, like I said, when it came to Islam, WrestleMania 10 was definitely one for the ages in more ways than one. So of course after that we see Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon defeat Doink the Clown and Dink the Clown. Randy Savage defeated Crush in a false count anywhere match. Little did we know that this was Macho Man's final WrestleMania match, and really just final match in WWE in general, because he would go back to doing commentary. So he was a commentator for the rest of the time in WWF WWF at that point. And so so of course this was little does anybody know that this was Macho Man's eventual farewell match. But of course Savage definitely made sure to go out with a bang. And after that, we have Alundra Blaze defeating Lilani Kai to retain the WWF Women's Championship. We also have Men on a Mission defeating the Quebecers by countout. Of course, in a tag team match for the WWF tag titles. And of course, we also see Yokozuna defeat Lex Luger by disqualification, with Mr. Perfect as a special guest referee. And Earthquake defeated Adam Bomb. And of course, the biggest highlight for me, the biggest match of the night and match of the year, was been all about. This is the one that really sold the show. That this is the match that was truly in a class of his own, and I'm talking about none other than the ladder match for the undisputed WWF Intercontinental Championship with Razor Ramon versus the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, accompanied by Diesel. And as we all know, the story was that, the story was that Shawn Michaels was originally suspended at the end of 1993. Because he had, tested positive for steroids or whatever substance that he took. And so of course, in Shawn's absence, there was a battle royal to determine the new Intercontinental Champion, because the belt was vacant. And so Razor wins the tournament and becomes the official Intercontinental Champion. Shawn talks about how he never lost, how he had not lost the belt by pinfall. And so of course because that, he wanted to challenge Razor at WrestleMania to determine who was the real Intercontinental Champion. So Shawn was walking out with the counterfeit IC title, because he was determined to let everybody know that he did not lose that belt by way of pinfall. So wanted to challenge Razor to a ladder match to determine who was the real Intercontinental Champion, the undisputed Intercontinental Champion. And like I said, like I said, this match was phenomenal. You know what I mean? And it definitely raised the bar when it came to ladder matches, when it came to WrestleMania matches. As a matter of fact, this was the first match where Shawn solidified himself as Mr. WrestleMania. This is where the Mr. WrestleMania moniker was first born. It was at WrestleMania 10, and this was the first ladder match in WrestleMania history. The first WWE ladder match was actually Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels for the IC title, but the first WrestleMania ladder match, was HBK versus Razor. And when I say they delivered in more ways than one. So, Shawn Michaels was looking like a superhuman, and just with all the different things that he was doing with that ladder at the time. Eventually Diesel, eventually Diesel was ejected and sent backstage. But like I said, so overall, outside of that, like I said, this match was, like I said, it was definitely one to remember. And the winner of that match and still Intercontinental Champion at the time, the bad guy himself. I mean, like I said, the bad guy himself, Razor Ramon. And so yeah, pretty much. And last but not least, we have Bret Hart defeat Yokozuna for the WWF Championship with Roddy Piper as a special guest referee. And so of course the night ends with Bret Hart being hoisted up, being celebrated as a champion, being held up by Lex Luger and Razor Ramon with Macho Man, Macho Man on the outside. Of course, with Macho Man pointing to him, saying like, this is your champion. And so pretty much after that, we see Owen Hart standing out there saying, just talking about how, just standing out there, just being jealous, just being a hater. It's like, okay, this is great to see. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with this volume right now, but yeah. But anyway, but yeah, of course, like I said, like I said, as far as this WrestleMania, WrestleMania 10 is definitely one of my top 5 to top 10. Like I said, one of my top 5 to top 10 WrestleManias of all time. And of course, it's just something about it, especially certain matches like the Bret versus Owen match and Shawn versus Razor match that still hold up even to this day. You know what I mean? And I mean, like I said, they never cease. Like I said, that match never ceased to amaze me, and never ceased to amaze me. It's just each time I see it, I'm like, watch almost as if it was the first time, and so that's why I'm excited to see that match. In WWE 2K24, just as I was excited to see that match in WWE 2K14. So, and the thing about it is that you cannot tell the story of WrestleMania without that ladder match. So of course that's what I thought about, of the anniversary of WrestleMania 10, and of course it's the same. And of course on this day today, Sting turns 65. I guess jumping the gun when it comes to the birthday announcements, but yeah. And finally, I want to talk about X-Men 97. And when I say that this was an explosive, 2-episode premiere, I mean it. Like, there were things that I did not expect, like certain sort of curveballs that we as fans have gotten hit with, and it certainly picks up where the original series left off at. And yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, but yeah, like I said, as far as that, this, like I said, the episode of X-Men 97, or at least that the 2-episode premiere, I was like, this definitely set the stage for what the rest of the series is going to look like. And I like how how they had certain callbacks to the original series, and it's certainly something very exciting to see. Very, I was certainly very enthusiastic about this. I made sure to watch it. Not long after, not long. Um, uh, so, like I said, I was excited to watch this not long after I got back home, and so I know that this was, like I said, I know this was definitely something that I'll say it's definitely something worth watching, and of course on Disney Plus. And I look forward to to the next episodes. And so I'm gonna see if I could at least do some type of like recap of the series throughout. Sorry about that. But yeah, I know what but sorry about that. But like I said, I'm looking to see if I could do some type of recap or review of each episode during the podcast. And it's definitely worth these episodes definitely worth having reviews of. And I know that the road to WrestleMania is approaching fast, rapidly, and it's just like I gotta pack, more than ever. But yeah, but overall, this week in wrestling, I was very satisfied. At first, I was hesitant on doing an episode, but I am glad that I did. And so, and of course, as a matter of fact, in honor of Sting's birthday, I'm going to like I said, I'm going to share my previous Sting episode that I did, and like I said, in honor of his birthday, my top 10 Sting matches and things like that. And so yeah, that's pretty much the conclusion for tonight's episode. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching, and may you have a great and amazing and excellent night on purpose.